Good morning and welcome to Gunner Short. Today we're going to examine what's happening in Iran, Israel, and USA. There is a three-way chicken game on. Why? Who's going to blink first? For those of you who don't understand what's the chicken game, the chicken game is who's going to chicken out first. And this is a three-way chicken game. We don't know who's going to do it. So far, no one has blinked. And they're going hammer and tongs at each other. And what's going to happen ahead, one doesn't know. There's no clarity of thought, right? Everyone is playing his game. Okay. Now let's go into the thing, what happened in the past 24 hours from yesterday to today. And then we'll see what it is. But let me first explain to you what this three-way game of chicken. I got this phrase from an article I was reading yesterday. It was very interesting. So I'll show it to you and he says, Israel has struck decisively at the head of the snake. But the snake is hard to kill, especially when Trump is playing the role of a snake charmer. That puts a lot of things in perspective. So whoever the author is, says snake hai, difficult to kill the snake, but then, it's even more difficult if Trump is the snake charmer. Very interesting comparison. Well, it is a Western viewpoint, but I found it interesting enough. And that's where I felt, look, all these three chaps are playing this three-way game of chicken. So far, USA is just sitting on the sidelines. It's not openly supporting Israel, but it is backing Israel 100%. It's not getting in, to the battle. It doesn't want to get drawn into the battle. Look, the general thing which I see is you can bomb a country to, smithereens, but you bomb people into submission. Can you turn people by bombing them against their own regime, irrespective of the fact that the regime is unpopular? Yeah, people tried it with Germany. It didn't work. People tried all over. It's never worked. Look, we have our own experience. We tried it with Pakistan. It didn't work. People, rallied around the flag. If anything, the popularity of the army went up after Op Sindoor. So, this business of regime change in Iran, will it work? Has enough political effort gone into that beforehand? I don't think so. Right? So these are the issues which are coming forth slowly. Neither Iran nor Israel have heeded any calls for de-escalation. They've said, no, we're not going to de-escalate, we're just going to escalate. Okay, what's happened in the past 24 hours? We'll take a call of it and then we'll discuss more. Israel has carried out about 150 strikes on Iran in the past 2 days, maybe more, maybe 300. That's a rough figure, it doesn't matter. They have achieved freedom of action over the skies, and they feel within the next 24 hours, they'll achieve complete air superiority. What is air superiority? Freedom of skies. At this point of time, they're saying freedom of skies over Tehran, that they can, attack Tehran the way they want. And now they're looking at air superiority over Iran. That means virtually Iran will be left defenseless from the air. And mind you, this is very important because this is going to be a non-contact kind of affair. No, it isn't going to be contact battles ever. Okay, just like what it was in Op Sindoor. Right. So that is, they can attack any place without any interference from Israel. On the other hand, Israel has fired over 200 ballistic missiles. Maybe more, maybe less. That's a matter of. But over 2 nights, they've hit Tel Aviv, they've hit Haifa, right? And they have caused damage. So it's not as if Iran is out of the fight. And we must remember that Iran and complete military structure or their force structure is based on drones and rockets and missiles. They don't have an air force, they don't have a navy, they don't have a great army. Is this okay? And now Israel is widening its attack. Now they've started attacking oil fields, which is dangerous for Iran. Okay. Now let me draw an analogy. Right? When the Iran-Iraq war took place in the 80s, right? It is about 81, 82. At that time, Iran lost half of its area, right? And Iraq was, and that at that time also Saddam Hussein was the guy. They had gone halfway into Iraq. It appeared as if Iraq was going to fail, but they didn't fail. They pushed Iraq back completely. So Iran has got the capability to withstand punishment. It's very important to understand this and spring back. It's a very resilient country. And that's their civilizational issue and that's their culture. They're very inventive people. So don't write the Iranians off. That's the first part. But the difference between that campaign and this, what I see, is slightly different. In the 80s, the Iraqis wanted to get hold of Iranian oil facilities, the oil resources, gas fields. At that time, there was no gas, it was only oil. And they got quite a lot of them. They almost came up to Karg Island, if I remember right, because I remember I was a captain and I did an analysis of this, a small analysis of what was happening. And then they regained everything. But at this point of time, what Israel has started doing is it is hitting the gas fields and destroying them. And oil facilities, right? The terminals, the infrastructure. That's what is being hit badly now at this point of time. Now, that is very detrimental to Iran in the long run. Okay. And I will just go over those issues also. Okay. So there's this South Pars gas field in Bushehr province that's been hit. This is the thing. We'll see on the map what it is, where it is. There's a hangar in the Mehrabad airport, Tehran, which has been hit. It's a military jet hangar. It's been hit. So the main Tehran airport has been hit. There's Shahran fuel depot hit. It's on the outskirts of Tehran, and I believe there are 11, gas tanks out there, not oil tanks out there which have been hit, and they're all on fire. In South Tehran, there's a Shahr oil refinery that's been hit. The refinery has been hit. The gas oil storage tanks have been hit, and they're at this point of time, I see the Israelis are concentrating on Tehran, nerve center. If they take out that nerve center, rest everything falls in place. Okay. Israel has also started hitting the Houthi leadership. There's something they say, there's a report which says the Houthis were in some conference and Israel has hit. But no, it's not much has come out. But these are the things. And of course, like I said, Tel Aviv and Haifa have been hit by missiles. There must be other places hit by missiles of Iran. It's not coming out. So Israel is creating havoc in Iran, there's no doubt. But equally, it's being hit. You have to understand what is Israel's capability to take punishment? What is Iran's capability to take punishment? The size matters. How much punishment can Iran take? Vis-a-vis how much punishment can Israel take? We'll see how it goes. This might be a defining factor as we go along. Okay. And if Israel appears to be getting hit too badly, then USA might step in. But let's see, at this point of time, whatever damage the missiles of uh, Iran have done on Israel isn't telling. It's not much, but there is damage, which they're not coming out with. Okay. Uh, I mean, there is also this very clear thing that information from Iran is coming out, whereas information from within Israel is not coming out the way it is. So, this is a point which you have to understand. So, don't get carried away that Israel is having a free run, right? They're still, notwithstanding the fact that they say, I have air supremacy, I have freedom of action over the skies and all, Iran is still hitting out with missiles and rockets. And all are over 1,000 kilometers range. Remember that. Okay, let's look at this map. We know, right? These are, I'll go over it. Research reactors at Bona, Ramsar, and Tehran. Parchin is their military base. It's been hit. Natanz, Fordo, Arak, Isfahan, and Bushehr. These are their, you know, nuclear sites, important nuclear sites. We know they have been hit. Natanz, there is some damage. There's some radiological leak. We don't know what the extent is, but there is something. But there, it is also there that they have not been able to destroy the centrifuges. Right? So there is something which is happening in Natanz. Okay. And Natanz has got their most modern and powerful centrifuges, and thousands of them. Right? There is no damage in Fordo, which is deep underground. That's their main enrichment center, and their weapon grade uranium is there. That there's no news about that, right? And Isfahan, this Isfahan is their nuclear site where that's also a storage site. That's a nuclear fuel site, which has not been hit, or rather, it's been hit, but not much damage. The damage assessment is not very clear on that. So the main things that let me recount: Fordo, Natanz, Isfahan hit, but how much damage we don't know. My own assessment is, their nuclear capability degraded, yes, but is it irreplaceable? I don't think so. So it's not right. But now we'll have to look at it holistically. What happens to Iran? This is not just about their nuclear facilities anymore. One more issue which you need to understand: Iran has its own uranium mines, so it's got the raw material, it's got the capability to process it. That is something which you cannot take away from Iran, if not now, for tomorrow. Okay, let's look at the oil situation. Right. Okay. Now, Bushehr is here. This has been hit. There's a gas field here, which is, that's a South Pars gas field at Bushehr. That's been hit. They're concentrating on Tehran. Now, their main terminal is at Karg Island. And this Bandar Abbas. This is their rich oil belt. Okay. Which was targeted in October. It was targeted in October. Now, are they going to get back here and hit? Because that will cause serious damage to Iran. The oil infrastructure, see, the oil wells will get capped. I'm sure Iran has taken adequate measures to cap their oil wells by now. Right? The oil wells underneath will be okay. In case oil is deep in, it comes out through a pipeline, that would have been capped. But the infrastructure, the refineries, the pipelines, if those are hit, as it is, Iran is, economically badly off. And if you can't export oil for the next 5-6 months, politically you're weakened, because economically you're weakened. And China is the main offtake for Iranian oil. It's all dark shipping, right? So that will have a political ramification as things go. That's the way I look at it. More than the nuclear reactors or the nuclear thing. Look, that anyway, Iran is sorry, Israel is very clear that they're going to obliterate the nuclear element. But let's see how it goes. Okay, what has Netanyahu indicated so far? He's made two speeches. He says the campaign will last as many days as it takes, just like what he said in Gaza. He said, I'm going to finish Hamas. And he'll continue. What's his motivation? Of course, it's an existential threat to Israel, so he's at it. We all know it started with Hamas, then Hezbollah got into the deal, Houthis have got into the deal, then Syria was conduit. All this have been taken off. So for Netanyahu and Israel, this is a golden opportunity. Iran is weak, they will go all out now. Now it's very clear that they'll go all out. They have no choice. In fact, they can't step back. And he's told Israel prepare for a difficult struggle. If Netanyahu gets finally into a political deal with Iran, a lot of problems for Israel will get resolved. But that's at this point of time far away. I'm looking at the political issues, the way things are evolving. Okay. Like I said, Iran has never been weaker. That's the next point. Yeah, and what he has said yesterday, this is what he said. He says what Iran has felt till now is nothing compared to what they will feel from the might of our forces in the coming days. That means the intensity will increase. What does it indicate? It indicates Israel has gone in with a deliberate plan and they're unfolding it the way they want it. They are working with very good intelligence. We know that they have very good intelligence. They took out that Ismail Haniya there. What, 6 months back? They took out Fakhrizadeh long back. Soleimani long back. He didn't, the Iranians didn't, Israelis didn't take out Soleimani. It was US. But they knew they've done all these things. They've taken out people at will within Iran. So they have I think they have a very good, clear intelligence about what is there in Iran or not. Okay. The conflict is spiraling. There's no doubt. What is US role? It's not very clear. US is supporting Israel so far. There's no doubt about that also. We discussed Trump's tweet yesterday. Where do we go further? Now, here there is an issue. Israel hoped that USA will join in, but suddenly Israel finds itself alone. There might be political support, there might be logistical support, but physical support USA doesn't seem to be giving it. Why? Right. Rubio says we are not involved in the attack, and Trump says he's not reigning in Israel also. So USA is playing a strange game in this. Very strange game. Okay, he's doing this proxy through Iran. At the same time, USA has moved all its wherewithal into this area. In fact, they've done it 60 days back. They started it. US has not shown its military hand out so far. It's a proxy hand through things. So this is the game of chicken. What will happen next? We all know some top Iranians have been killed. Okay? Military guys have been knocked off. Politicians who have been overseeing, the talks between USA and Iran have been knocked off. The latest count is 9 scientists involved in their nuclear program have been knocked off. They're experienced guys. The talks which Trump was hoping will continue over the weekend, that they've been cancelled. Iran has said sorry. Iran has also notified US, Britain, and France. What? Any country which repels Iranian attacks on Israel will be targeted. That means any country interfering in what Iran is doing against Israel will be targeted. So, if US repels Iranian attacks against Israel, it will be targeted. Jordan has brought down a few drones. So, will Iran start attacking Jordan? So all this have to be seen. And he said that when they do it, they will attack ships and naval vessels in Persian Gulf and Red Sea. Very clear, Persian Gulf and Red Sea. So we'll go back to that map. So we are looking at both these. This is of course the Persian Gulf, and you go back. Right, sorry. Do I have a map? I have a map. We'll go back. Yeah. So attack will be here and here. Right? This is the Persian Gulf, this is the Red Sea. So they're threatening both. Which are the countries at stake? All these. Saudi Arabia, not Oman. Oman is not in the thing. But Bahrain, Qatar, okay, Jordan. Jordan has already intercepted. So they are at stake. And just think, if the Strait of Hormuz is closed, then the oil, 20% of the world's oil comes through this. All these people will go up. The world oil prices will go up, everything. For those of you who don't know history, this is not the first time. Even in the Iran-Iraq war, Iran closed the Gulf of Hormuz. So this is something, okay? And if Iran starts attacking Saudi Arabia or Jordan or Bahrain or Kuwait or any of the UAE, then the thing will start going further. How much can USA defend them? These are all questions. Okay, there's going to be will a larger conflagration begin or not? Let's see. I'll go back. Yeah, sorry. Right? So I said 9 scientists have been knocked off, talks have been cancelled. And the Suez Canal, not Suez Canal, the Gulf of Hormuz, or the Strait of Hormuz being blocked is imminent. We don't know whether it will happen or not. And for the first time, Putin has come in and he's spoken to Trump. And the talk lasted about 50 minutes. And he said, let's stop this. And he's condemned Israel. That's okay, that he will condemn Israel. Okay. Nothing from China. Why nothing from China? I mean, there's a reason. I'll talk of it tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we'll talk of China. China, the regime change is hastening. Now, there's some leaked news coming out on from China, right? That there's a plan for transition. And the top 3 honchos there are Wang Yang, Hu Chunhua, and Zhang Yuxia. That's going into some tangent. And that tangent we'll discuss tomorrow morning. Okay. There are very interesting things happening today in the world. That's why I discussed Germany yesterday. We're going to discuss USA because what's happening in USA is also funny. There's a military parade going on. One senator has been shot. Assassination. It's a political assassination. Right? And there's one representative who's been shot dead with her husband. There are protests all over. Okay. Internally, America is unstable at this point of time, thanks to Mr. Trump. And he is going berserk with whatever he is doing. Externally, they are not committed. There's a trade war on. So, we are living through interesting times. I mean, when I analyze all this, I take all those factors into consideration. And Putin himself is in a weak spot. So, they've called, but China has not called. So let's see what's the weight. Will USA put pressure on anyone? There's no pressure on USA at this point of time. You see, another dynamic we have to understand is there is, uh, Trump will find it convenient to externalize his internal situation. We talk of everyone else externalizing their internal problems. Trump is doing that today. There's my view that Trump is doing that today. He's externalizing America's internal problems, and he's hoping that he'll solve America's internal problems through externalization. As a tonight, we're going to talk this in P Gurus. I don't know who Jan Dushyant and others will join in. Jan Dushyant and Apna Rajiv Narayanan. I'm hoping they'll join. The topic is Trump heralding America's decline? Join in at 8:30. We'll discuss this in detail because that is going to impact this war as it is going. Okay, let's get ahead. What are the imponderables at this point of time? The first question is, will Israel succeed in destroying Iran's nuclear capabilities? That's the first question. The second question is, whether Iranian dissidents will succeed in toppling the regime. Okay, so the general view is Iran can't eliminate the nuclear threat without active US involvement. Unless US comes into the deal, it will not happen. Why? Fordo. You need bunker bursting, deep penetrating bombs, and which only USA has at this point of time. And they are sitting in Diego Garcia, down south. Right? Also, the considered view, and is my view also, just external pressure on Iran won't topple the regime. In fact, it will harden the regime. People will all say, look, I'm an Iranian. Why should I side Israeli? So in any action you want, as American support is crucial. If there's a regime change which is to happen, you need America on board. Israel alone can't do regime change. My own view is I don't think even USA will be able to do it at this point of time. For the simple reason, have they prepared the ground for it? They have not. It is possible that this whole story might peter itself out after some time of bombing, AO, and all that, and things cool down without the operation, being called off. And then regime change actions will start. It's possible. But let's see. That's a very strong possibility. Now, we also have to remember that Iran can hit back. Iran can hit back through Al Qaeda in Yemen. There's a lot of Al Qaeda activity in Yemen. And Iran is a past master at it. Okay? Houthis. And what I've been saying, this is my conviction, or I wouldn't say conviction, my hunch, that can Iran smuggle a backpack nuclear weapon out? What people call a suitcase bomb. Have they already prepared it? No one knows. So these are the imponderables. Right? But let's look at what does denuclearization involve. If you want to denuclearize a country, what does it involve? Okay, you have to deny Iran the material needed to fuel nuclear weapons. Can that be denied? No, it can't be denied because Iran already has it. Can you destroy it? You can't, because the mines are there. You destroy a centrifuge, you'll make it again. You might set Iran back by 5-10 years, but a determined government, whether it is the Ayatollah regime or anyone else, will go ahead. They have the technology. Why will they stop? Right. So that is one. Secondly, you can blow up all the equipment which is necessary for manufacturing weapons. There is a difference between capability to manufacture weapons and the capability to enrich fuel. Please understand this. When you say enriching fuel, so that is centrifuges, capability, technology, and all that to take the uranium which is naturally available in nature is about 2-3% only. Not even 2-3%, 2-3% 0.2-0.3%. That is enriched to 3% for new reactor grade uranium. For weapon grade uranium, you have to go to 90%. So that is a process. That's a process. So if you want to denuclearize a nation, take that process out. That's okay. That's one part of the story. The second part of the story is how do you weaponize? You have to make that bomb into a bomb. You need material for that. You need capability for that. And that bomb has to be put on a missile for that which Iran already has. Okay. And the third way is you kill the knowledge. That's what Israel is trying. So anyone who has, they know, they by now they would know the complete list. So anyone who's associated with the nuclear program is now being assassinated or wiped off, whatever you look at it. So this is the third part of the story. And the fourth part of the story is that after all this, Israel and USA must convince the regime not to go for nuclearization. That's political. People will say, no, I can't, like they did with Gaddafi. Right? Or they did earlier with Iraq. When Saddam Hussein was there earlier, Israel took out that Osirak reactor. And then people, after that, they couldn't go back to doing anything. Of course, that false theory of WMD and all came during the Gulf War too. That's it. Okay. So people have to give up. That regime has to give up. Right. Then, of course, there's no confirmation that Fordo has been penetrated. Till such time that enriched uranium is in Fordo or wherever Iran has kept it. Look, Iran also knows that at some point of time USA will come with deep penetration bombs. So, do you think they would have kept it at Fordo? Do you think they could have kept it elsewhere? Would you keep it there? By now, some enriched uranium would be not in Fordo, somewhere else, which they have never declared. And it's very clear in the past 3 years, ever since that nuclear deal, they went back, they've been working on parallel. They have been showing something to IAEA and they're doing something else. And that report has come out from IAEA. Okay? So there's no clear indication that Israel has cleared off all this enriched uranium or weapon making capabilities or missile structures because missiles are still firing. Okay. Can Iran reconstitute a nuclear program? I think so. It's a matter of time. Okay. Okay, let's look at it from the Iranian point of view. Let's talk of Iran's nukes. Iran needs more than weapon grade enriched uranium, like I just said. It needs processing equipment which can turn uranium into a metal. After you get that, you have to convert it. Okay. It needs this weapon or this thing to shape it into a weapon. You have to build a weapon. Does Iran have that technology? Possible. Does it have the components? Possible. Or a question mark. Who knows? We don't know. Because a lot of what Iran's weapon program we don't know. My own thing is Iran has the technology or the capability to build it on its own. And they probably have everything in place. Okay. So far, what is the quantifiable damage on the weapons, the Iran's nuclear capability? That's also a question mark. We know Natanz has been hit, Fordo has been hit, this has been hit, that has been hit. How much? How much dent it has made in Iran's nuclear capability? From what Iran is reacting so far, it doesn't appear much has happened. And then, most importantly, has Iran's will been broken? Has the national will been broken? Remember, nations like Iran won't fall over. Just take your mind back to Vietnam. What happened in Vietnam? America kept bombing Vietnam, kept bombing Vietnam, kept bombing Vietnam. Ultimately, what happened? They lost. Look at Afghanistan. What happened? They were sitting there, they were killing people, they were doing whatever they wanted, but yet they had to leave in disgrace. So just Israel doing this bombing action completely with USA will not achieve results. We should be very clear about this. You have to do something more. Iran might take an off ramp at this point of time. They say, okay, yeah, bas theek hai, abhi nahi ladenge. Knowing fully well that they have done, they have hidden their nuclear systems away. And they'll say, okay, we'll make peace. And they'll one day say, I've done the test, I have a bomb, now talk. Look, that's the way I see this war panning out. This bombing will continue. Israel will feel happy. Iran will fire some missiles. At some point of time, it'll not be able to fire missiles. Fine, but it has the capability to hide a few launchers. Would have hidden its enrichment capability. It would have hidden some amount of enriched uranium, and someone must be already working somewhere deep inside in some cave. And you make a bomb, then all settles. Wait for a year, start do some political. Okay, we'll do this, that, and all that. And one day you do a test and say, "Look, I've got it." Now, what do you do? What do you do with a nuclear weapon? A nuclear weapon state. So this is highly on the cards unless a political regime change happens and that regime is aligned towards USA. Remember, militarily, Israel and USA will defeat Iran. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. But what about the politics? That is the $1 million question. Like I said earlier, Tehran might look for off ramps. If they're getting more, they might say, okay, why should I now go in for this? I'll say, okay, I'll raise a white flag and wait for another day. Politically, I'll take it on. I'll talk politically. I'll come to some agreement politically. Okay. And I'll do something else. They might resort to diplomacy at this point of time. Now, even if Iran comes to a settlement, what's the guarantee that it will comply with it? Because they didn't comply with the earlier guarantees, earlier settlements. Why will they do it now? They'll come to a settlement, the war ends, everyone is happy. Within 6 months, they pull out of that settlement. Then what? I think this war has taken us into unknown territory. Okay. You see, that's the difference between Pakistan and Iran. Pakistan is a weak country, politically weak, everything is weak. Or they've come back, army strong, they'll give some money, and after that you can shut it politically. At least you can control it politically. And USA has to give some candy out, and these chaps will go like dogs and lap it up, Pakistanis. And they'll ditch the Chinese also. They don't have any iman nahi hai inme. They have to survive to fight another day. Okay. And they have to survive by being rich. See, Pakistani army, they already hiked their allowances by 50% for officers and 20% for other ranks. Complete. So they are looking out for not really Pakistan. Pakistan is a milk cow for all these people to be happy. That story is different, but not in Iran. Iran has got depth. They've got civilizational depth and cultural depth. Right? If the damage done by Israel is not as much as we think it is, or as much as spoken, it's possible that Iran will continue to retaliate. We'll come to know. It's a matter of time. Today, you ask me, sir, will it happen? I don't know, but it might. If that's the acid test, if Iran can continue to retaliate, then Israel has not done much damage to it. Remember this. Now, there's a question which is being bandied about. Can an Israeli only attack or even a joint US Israeli operation meaningfully forestall an Iranian dash for nuclear weapons? The big question, which some people have asked already. That's a question which is coming up in everyone's mind in just about 48 hours of bombing. Okay? So, there's a whole lot of question marks left. So, those of us who think, look, the, 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 the operations by Israel have been tactically brilliant. Brilliant. There's no doubt. Fantastic intelligence, penetrated, covert attacks, overt attacks, first class suppression of air defenses, air superiority. Now they might be defenseless, all that. Brilliant. What about the politics? What about the strategic outcomes? Those are the questions which Iran might lose the war, or rather, Iran might lose this battle and win the war. Remember that. Okay. Like I said, I'm not for either. I am analyzing it absolutely dispassionately. Militarily, today Israel has got a huge upper hand. It'll hammer Iran. But will it politically achieve victory? And what does this victory constitute? Will they be able to completely denuclearize a country? So these are the questions for which I think it's too early to get an idea of all this. We will get an idea in the next 2-3 days as things happen, where things are going. I don't think 2-3 days is also too fast. Maybe 1 week, 10 days, we'll start getting things as to how things are going. The important actor in this is US. And who other than US is prepared to come into the deal? China has not got no appetite. We're going to discuss China tomorrow. When reports are coming out of China that there's a power transition happening, well, you have to examine that seriously, and I'll do that tomorrow. And I'm convinced that China is now going to fail. What will be that failure? How will it be? I have to do it. Maybe tomorrow I'll do it. Maybe tomorrow evening I'll do it. Maybe tomorrow evening we'll spend some time on China in the evening. There were 10 reasons. Earlier I said 9 reasons. Now I've got a 10th reason after some reflection. So we'll discuss the 10 reasons why China is failing. We'll also discuss tomorrow, we'll dedicate it to China. Of course, if there are any updates, I'll come back to it. Russia is in its own mess. Europe has not spoken so far. Even USA has not spoken. The Middle East doesn't have a voice. So where is this going? And we'll see about it. So till then, thank you all for attending today's morning session. We'll take some questions and then call it a day. Right. I have time. Morning time, I have time to attend to all your questions. Evening, others, guests come, and I might not be able to answer all questions. So please, this thing. Yeah, before I take on questions, I want to put across one thing to everyone. Like today I put out one video, which is nothing but an old live stream, which is without question answer session, and I upload it. I do that. I've been telling you. I do that because videos you can listen in any audio track you want. You want to listen to it in Portuguese, you can do it. You can do it in Hindi. It's a Hindi video. You can see it in English, right? It is not for anything else. So it's a edited, which I put it in. And they are interesting things. And many times I see, if you've seen, even if you've seen a live stream, it's good to see it after about a 4 5 days or a week, 10 days, to get a perspective. Your perspective changes by then. So the content is still relevant in within 10 15 days. That content doesn't go out, and then you can view it in any language you want. That's why I put it out, right? So please bear with me. And One, number two, a lot of people are saying, okay, you do it this way, I do it that way, you should be less than half an hour, you should be more than 1 hour, you should speak fast. Yeah, well, please understand, many of these things, if I do in half an hour, you will not understand the nuances. You people must come to Ganashore to understand the nuances of what's happening. And I must tell you, with my own slow old age way of doing things, I've been quite accurate in what I've forecasted. I've been quite analytical to even say, okay, this is the way things are going. I've not been wrong. But if you want, there are talks, and there are other people, who give you the latest masala. Well, you can go to them, finish off in half an hour, enjoy your that podcast, and get some false feeling that India is going to be the next superpower. Be happy and cater for your political thinking. Sorry, you come to the wrong channel. You come here for quality, for absolute unbiased quality, apolitical, judgmental, and biased towards India, not BJP, not Congress, not TMC, not DMK. That's not my forte. Okay, be patient with me. Right. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Sangramjit Banja. Thanks a lot for joining me as a YouTube member. Right. And Fabin, thanks a lot for your super sticker. Honored with all of you contributing. Right. Let me take some questions. Yeah. Rupayan Deb, good morning. Vasu Iyengar. Sir, please discuss how events may play out, change if Iran conducts a nuclear test during these operations. They must be super motivated to do this. Look, if Iran conducts a nuclear test, this whole story changes. But can they do it at this point of time is a question. If I were anyone in Iran, I will say, I can't sustain this militarily. I will go to my public and say, look, we can't do this. So I'm going to get into some accommodation. But equally well, I'm going to tell my public I'll do something about it at this point. So I get into an accommodation, I'll take an off ramp. If I can't sustain it, that if is there. Okay. And I'll pursue my thing later. Why should I listen to anyone? Okay, that's one way of handling it. The second way of handling it is I have a bomb already. I'll do a small explosion somewhere. Not nuclear test. I'll explode something somewhere. Small. And tell, look, I have more. And I can hit you in New York. That message, if it goes, the whole story will change. Okay. So that's the way I look at it. Yeah. Akash, morning. How are you? Manjunath, also morning. John Doe, hi, how are you? And good morning to Yatgiri Shukla. Sir, what's Iran so confident of, or is it just mad radical mind working? I said, please understand, even a radical mind uh, is not foolish. He might be radical, but he's got a way of doing things which is quite different from the way you and I do. So to understand that radical mind is difficult. So he will have. So never underestimate your enemy. Never underestimate the fact that he cannot do logical thinking. He's got his logic, which you cannot penetrate. Okay. So his confidence comes from something else. You're looking at a population who want what they want, and it's not now. When did the Iranian Revolution take place? Long back, going back to over 40 years, 50 years. So don't underestimate people, even if they're radical. Jai Hind, Neil, या जितेंद्र अरोरा प्लीज स्पीक इन हिंदी. भाई मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ, ठीक है ना. मैं आई मस्ट टेल यू क्यों मैं बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. मैं इसीलिए बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ हिंदी में, क्योंकि जब हिंदी में मैं बात करता हूँ कुछ लोग आके बोलते हैं कि भाई अगर मैं निष्पक्ष बोलूं तो सब बोलते हैं कि भाई तुम कम्युनिस्ट हो. कब कोई आके बोलता है कि भाई तुम बीजेपी के पिस्सू हो. कोई आके बोलता है मैं कांग्रेसी हूँ. तो ये क्या राजनीतिक कहानी आ जाता है जिससे मैं बिल्कुल दूर हूं. इसीलिए मैं अंग्रेजी में शिफ्ट कर दिया. पहले पहले हम हिंदी में ही बोलते थे, पर सबका उम्मीद जो हिंदी में सुनते हैं उनका अपना अपना राजनीतिक उम्मीद है. मेरे राजनीतिक विचार है ही नहीं. इसीलिए मैं अभी जैसे इंग्लिश में बोल रहा हूं, ये जो है अनुवाद, इसका 2 दिन या 3 दिन बाद आपको वीडियो में मिलेगा. मैं अपलोड करूंगा यही चीज, इसका 1 घंटे के अंदर का करके ये जो सवाल जवाब हम कर रहे हैं उसको काट के मैं दोबारा अपलोड करूंगा. मामला घटेगा नहीं, वो वही रहेगा. स्थिति हालत जो थोड़ा बहुत अंतर होगा, पर आपको हिंदी में वहां सुनने के लिए है, क्योंकि आप सेटिंग में जाइए, ऑडियो ट्रैक में जाइए, वहां हिंदी में आप सुन सकते हो. ठीक है. इसके बावजूद हम वेडनेसडे, राइट, वेडनेसडे के दिन गायत्री देवी जी के साथ ऑल्टरनेट मीडिया में हम हिंदी में बात करेंगे. और जब भी जयपुर डायलॉग्स के साथ आएंगे हम हिंदी में बात करेंगे. वो तकरीबन हफ्ते में 2 बार हिंदी में होगा, बाकी अंग्रेजी में होगा. या आई वॉज वेटिंग फॉर यू सर, थैंक यू. या दे हैव oil fields also, I agree. Yeah, the nations west of Sindhu Nadi have a mindset of promptly going into meat grinder mode when in war. Thus, the Israel-Iran war will be a long drawn and bloody affair. I agree with you. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be long. And their complete Middle East, you see, they have never-ending wars. It's been there right from before. So it's going to have that way. Hi, Wordcraft. Morning. Nice to hear. Thing. Manoj Fan, North Korea says they'll support Iran militarily. What can they do? They can do nothing. Has that more just political backing? Has US collusion and Israeli attacks scared North Korea to think the same fate awaits them unless they act now? No, I don't think so. North Korea is in a different category. They have missiles, they can fire, and they have intercontinental ballistic missiles. Whether they're good, bad, or ugly, whether you intercept them or not, we don't know. They have. And they've carried out tests. Everyone knows their capability. So Iran's capability and North Korean capability is far different. Will Russia benefit from war's oil price surge? Definitely. And there's no doubt about it. Iran is Muslim not by choice but by forced conversion. Same can be said for AFPAC. Won't the people of Iran rally in support of them? They will. That's how they're surviving so far. Hans, morning. Thanks a lot. Israel has been taking punishment since 1947. They are still standing, and the future is looking bright. John, I agree with you completely. There's no doubt the Israelis have suffered quite a bit and they've stood up and they're a fantastic nation. There's no doubt. But I'm talking of this period of time. We're talking of as much as Israel can take punishment, so can Iran. That's the thing. Both are hardened nations. You have to understand this. They're not going to accept defeat easily. That's how it is. Hans, Shalom, thanks a lot. Uh, Third Patriot, David Slingdome, they're all unable to defend all. No, then it's not so. Whatever you have, some will get through. Yeah, Israel got hit by Iran significantly, but we did not get hit by Pakistani during Op Sindur. Aren't we superior than Israel? Sorry, we shouldn't get into this mindset at all. The attacks by Iran have been, they put about 200 odd missiles or rockets, right? And a few have got through, about 9, 10 have got through. Maybe more, I'm right. But largely they have been able to defend themselves. Pakistan was not given a chance to use all that. That's the difference. Pakistan did not dare to do that. Pakistan got cowed before that. They got scared. On 10th morning, they got scared. It's not a matter of whether we are superior to Israel or inferior to Israel. Each condition is different. Okay, each condition is different, each adversary is different, each nation is different. Maybe on a different set of conditions, we would have got more punishment. Maybe Pakistan would have asserted itself in a different manner. And the countries involved in this are different. So don't equate. You can look, what's the analogies you can draw between that war and this? You can say, okay, this is the way things happen there. This might be the way things happen there. You can compare it. Don't compare countries. Iran missiles will hit Pak. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Vanakkam General. Why Trump is playing double game? Was his original intention this, or he changed his color now? This is his original intention. He doesn't want to put America in war, but he wants to control everything. He feels that, look, uh, Iran will do everything for him and he'll come and clean up the mess and get his Nobel Prize. Look, Trump is a strange phenomenon. We'll discuss this in the evening. You know, today morning I got this idea: is Trump taking America into a decline? We'll talk of this today evening. We need to discuss it. Your question is got deeper issues. Agree, going after oil processing has a negative short to mid-term consequences for the Iran regime, no doubt. JD Vance said in the parade that we will never make you fight a war unless we absolutely have to. Yeah, that's the way they're looking at it. Okay. America's wars have not been successful, whether it's Afghanistan, Vietnam, anywhere. So, and I don't think the Americans are today. There's a socio-cultural change which has happened in America. America, reacted after 9/11 in a different manner. That's why they went into Afghanistan, they went into Iraq in a completely different manner because the thinking was different. That situation has changed. America is divided today. You need a country which is united to go to war, which is not with America. Yeah, stop listening to Americans. They speak bullshit. Yeah, that's okay. That's their thing. Yeah. Israel has hundreds of Mossad operatives in Iran. Mossad have an Iranian branch disgruntled people. Uh, Others open to bribes in a difficult economic. I agree with you, John. I agree with whatever you're saying. But will they deliver things to final? What's the final outcome? That's the issue. Iran is done right. No, mob menace. It's not. It's not yet done. Don't go into the thing. Countries which are as tough as Iran don't get done in a day. US involved, they're shooting down missiles from Iran. Yeah, that's okay. You see, they will, that they have said already that we're going to protect Israel defensively, right? But you see, like I said, this war doesn't have a political end. My view is India should, like with Putin has said something, can India start this process of thing? And look, let me talk. The SCO came out with a statement. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is largely a Chinese statement, which said, look, Israel should stop, Israel is at fault, we support Iran, ye, wo, all that. Completely against Israel for Iran. We have said no, we don't agree to it. India has said we are not with the SCO on this. And we very clearly told them that this is a Chinese statement. We are not in it. We have given out a balanced statement for both. That we should draw this to a closure at the earliest. Don't escalate. I'm sorry, I didn't get that. It slipped my mind. I didn't get that statement of India. India is very clear. I've said so, and we must be clear. For us, IMEC is important. IMEC goes through Oman, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel. Similarly, the INSTC is important. It goes through Chabahar, Bandar Abbas, on to Iran, up north. For us, both are important. We have connect with both. If tomorrow things change, we can get a lot of oil from Iran. Iran and India had deep cooperation. At that one point of time, many of you people don't know, we had our Air Force officers stationed in Iran. In fact, I remember long back, there was an Air Force officer who told me how to approach the SSB when I was a young boy of 16, 17. And he'd had a exposure in Iran. And he used to tell me about Iran and how you taught Iranian pilots and all that. So remember, some of you have a orientation to Israel only. We have a orientation to Israel. That is why we have uh, pulled out of that SEO, readout and said, look, we have strategic equations with Israel, equally with Iran. Yeah. No Chinese is criticized. What are you talking, Ashu? Please have a look at that SEO readout. Is China instability real thing? Yes, we'll talk of it. I'll talk of it tomorrow. Yeah, interesting idea of Trump externalizing domestic instability. We'll talk of it today evening. Join in the evening. One has to be very fundamentally balanced and apolitical without any leaning. I don't like America, right? I don't have any love lost with USA. My love lost is with India, so I have to look at it balanced. I bet regime change is imminent. Let's see how things happen. दुनिया में जितने भी युद्ध होते हैं उसमें अमेरिका का हाथ अवश्य होता है. ये अपने डिफेंस सिस्टम का व्यापार करने और दुनिया में अपना वर्चस्व बनाने के लिए दुनिया में इस्लामिक आतंक को जन्म दिया. ये किसी को सगा नहीं. ये बिल्कुल मैं मानता हूं आपसे. अमेरिका किसी का सगा नहीं है. वो अपने आप के साथ भी सगा नहीं है. ये शाम को बात करेंगे. आप आइए बात करते हैं. Yeah, we observed in Indo-Pak as well as Israel, Iran, China is taking a backseat is only because regime change or fear of Indo, USA, Australia, Japan, everything. A lot of things are involved in this. Look, in India, Pakistan, China didn't take a backseat. They were in the front seat. They were in the driver's seat with Pakistan. Be very clear. Here they are in the back seat because they have no capability to interfere in this. Iran has lost the capability to fight? I don't think. I don't think we should go on that line thinking, right? Don't think like that. The war is still on. If US and Israel are able to cause a regime change, won't that impact Pakistan's strategic importance to the US in the region? Yes, I agree with you. There is. That is why that fellow's gone there, no? That Asim Munir. Okay, let's take this. US wants an ally on both sides of oil-rich Middle East. Iran will replace Pakistan after regime change. Possible. If that, look, again, you have to go back to the Shah of Iran's time. Shah of Iran was complete pissu of USA, and at that time they had complete control over, Saudi Arabia and UAE. They were playing both sides of the Gulf, and that's what the Britishers and the Americans have always wanted. You go into the Second World War history, that's what it is. Do you know there was a Baghdad railway going through Pakistan? At that is India. There was a railway line which the Britishers started to take through Balochistan into Baghdad. It failed after some time. Okay, it failed for many reasons, right? So, and that was to go through Iran up to Baghdad. So, a lot of things will change. Don't worry. All right. Oil. Possibility of Pakistan assisting Iran for a fee, very much doubtful at this point of time. Pakistan's tail is caught by Trump. Pakistan is not a threat to anyone but India. Iran threatens the region. Iran is a bigger threat to Western interests. Yes, I agree with you. The conjecture that US wants to use Pakistan for these operations against Iran appears to be false. Sorry. That's a base. Pakistan offers a base for. You might not use it today. If the war goes beyond the limit, that base might be used. Do you think Iran will start hitting targets outside Israel? If they do so, what are the prime targets? They've already said that we might hit any of these Gulf shakedowns. They might close the Strait of Hormuz. They've already said so. So possible that Iran has nukes, but they're not declaring because they want sanctions removed. Possible. They might, if they at the back of the wall, if they're pushed to the wall, they might come out with it. That was a great idea, sir. Keep posting. Thanks a lot. Who is benefiting from this conflict? USA. USA is control. USA will now arm everyone. Their defense industrial base will do this thing. USA. Let's not have doubts about it. Yeah, for instant masala, people can watch Arnab or Sumit. No, some of the YouTube channels are also masala. Some of these guys, I find some junior officers come into some of these channels and spew nonsense. Thanks for a morning focused on discussing and exploring complex ideas, concepts, and theories. Thanks a lot, Malika. But I did join the Hindi sessions. Yeah. Look, the way thing is, those Hindi things after 2 days or 3 days will be available in English. You can use the audio track and go into English, right? Is there any chance of this conflict spiraling out to a larger conflict involving USA supporting Israel and Pakistan indirectly supporting Pakistan will not support Iran. USA will not allow that. Neither is Pakistan capable of doing it. If something happens like this, I'm very happy. Pakistan will destroy itself. Okay. But USA supporting Israel is on the cards. Yeah, half an hour will be too difficult to follow. There are challenging subjects. These are challenging subjects to understand. Please continue as you are. Thanks a lot, John. If Iran follows its promise to attack naval ships and cargo ships in the Persian Gulf and Red Sea, then USA, UK, Saudi will be forced to participate with all their powers in the war. Iran will be weak. Look, let's not presuppose anything. Let's not presuppose everything. Okay. What will happen, we'll see how things happen out. Countries don't get toppled and pulled out so fast. It takes time. Is the 35 story true? Will no. I mean, that's irrelevant. Yeah. Current events have continually changing goalposts, correct? Yeah. Is it true that late CDS chief Bipin Rawat had established the IW wing which was shut down immediately? If yes, why? No, no. It's not so. It's there in some other form. If Iran goes nuclear, Iran ends up like North Korea. Does Iran want that? Maybe. Anyway, Iran is like North Korea only at this point of time. Who's where is Iran getting its sustenance from? China and Russia. So what? So if it has the capability, it will go. Look, if I were in Iran and I had the capability, I would have gone nuclear. Thanks a lot, Jijar, saying this. And are you deleting comments? No, I don't delete comments. I only delete comments from those who are abusive, personally abusive, and they're very abusive about India. I delete them. Otherwise, I don't delete comments. If your comments are being deleted, uh, what I would request everyone. This is you're the second time. You're the second person who are asking this question to me. My request is when you put in your comments, not only in this, everywhere, just take a screenshot and try if your comment is deleted. If your comment is deleted, then with the original screenshot, give it to me. I'll complain to Google and YouTube because I don't know whether you commented or not. Okay. Op Sindhu's coverage. After Op Sindhu's coverage, can't trust the international media. How likely is it that Iran isn't doing as bad as I am with you? Today's media is completely biased towards Israel. The Iran story is not coming out. That's why I said, look, don't count Iran out. So, with all these Gulf War, India's economics getting affected, is there any way India can get out of this situation? Does India have any future plans? I don't think this preposition is right. India, if it plays its cards well, will come out. In fact, if you look at it, very balanced. India still maintains good equations with everyone. Even with USA, we are not badly off despite what has happened. And this is episodic with USA, it doesn't matter. Or oil inflows are good. People still will want to deal with India. People still want to come to India. People still, so because you're still stable, you're growing. Your growth story, if it is snuffed out, everyone will sink. So don't worry about it. We are okay. Yeah. Greetings to all logged into a chat. Nice to have you back, Ashok. Greetings from the West Coast. Yeah, Sab Zen, US getting Munir and Pak on their side. Will US use Paki terrorists to fight? No, it will not happen. That's difficult. People in social media were boasting about how our AD was able to stop everything while Israeli let a few missiles in, but we were not hit by. Yeah, I agree with that's what I explained. 3% or 9 got through as per trusted medias. I agree. There are comparisons versus Israel versus Indian equipment are silly. I saw a video of hypersonic getting through that hit a city center. Like General Shankar says, dynamics are completely different. Yeah, you can't stop a hypersonic or a supersonic like near hypersonic like BrahMos. They're virtually unstoppable. Yeah, I love the Iranians, not the Ayatollahs. Same here. Ashwin Bahadur, Akash Tadani's question is ignorant. It doesn't matter if the Arabs are the Iranians are converted over 13 centuries ago. There is no remnant of previous identity in modern culture. Look, what I would request every one of you. Uh, you might disagree with others, but please don't. You don't have to be aggressive about it, or hurt someone's feelings, right? That's what I would like to put across. What happens if Iran's missile by mistake drops in Iraq or Syria? Well, they get hit. That's about it. Coming oil price hike will increase inflation. Yes, I agree with you. There's no doubt. Will Turkey intervene and join the war? No, they will not. They will not. Turkey has its own problems and own issues. They will not join. Thanks a lot for your contribution, Maximal Marxist nationalist. Right. Hmm. Joy Bangla says, India doesn't have a backbone. Well, does Bangladesh have a back at all? Forget about the fact whether it has a bone or not. You do have a back at all. You guys are completely useless. You can't even help yourselves. Yeah, if this war prolongs, oil prices will skyrocket. This is not going to be good for an already struggling export oriented economy like China. Yes, you're completely right. They will be in a bigger crisis. Yeah, if conflict escalates, Iran with its proxy Houthi block the Straits, Hamas, and this thing. What are the consequences for India? Not much. Don't worry. How much can they block it? They can block it for 5, 10, 15 days. Don't worry. It's an international problem. It will get solved. Okay, should India take back Chagos Island for US for our safety? No, I don't think so. I think personally, US being there is good, and US will not attack India. Don't worry about that. Also, don't worry about it at all. Okay, it's good that for many reasons US is in Chagos Island. So another casualty in Kadarnath an hour before. I don't know what it is. Let's see what it is. White House has denied inviting Asim Munir, but Asim Munir is in already USA. How to put a question on super chat? Oh well, you'll have to. I don't know. I've never used it. You'll have to do it on your own. Okay. Yeah, the open question. If someone knows how to, I mean, those of you who are using super chats, please guide um, guide Raja Arun on how to put a question on super chat. I'll be grateful. Why EU and West have failed to take Iran and confidence to give up on the nuclear dream? It's radicalism. You see, all said and done, Iran is a radical state. Those Ayatollahs are radical, and this is not new. It's been old. What is surprising is, you see, Ayatollah Khomeini, when he was there in the 70s, he had been given refuge in uh, France. My belief is that France, let go of its equity in the Iranian revolution, and for whatever reason at that time, and it's never been built back. And Iran has thereafter taken a line which is quite different from the West. Okay, let me take questions who. Everything is going wrong in the world since a man ate a bird in China. I agree with you. I like that. Uh, okay, right. Somnath says, thank you. Thanks a lot. Mm. Achas, Kedarnath, there must be some flying incident. that look, flying in hills has got problems. There are air pockets. There are many other issues. So don't read too much into it. Ritsi Kumar Sami, good morning. I have select some moderators. They will help you clean this. No, no, no problem. Let people talk. It doesn't matter. We don't have to be. Yeah. Comments in the chat are different versus commenting below the video. Comments on videos are moderated by YouTube's community guidelines algorithms, which have a geopolitical bias. I agree with you. Yeah, India is consuming less oil by increasing wind and solar generation. That's the idea, but whether it will get converted into reality is a different thing. Because as you keep developing, your requirement of energy keeps increasing. The world's media has not been with Israel after October 7. The coverage was negating, even hostile. So it's curious why Israel will be supported now. Well, I agree with you to a large extent. But at this point of the time, it's not a matter of supporting Israel. The narrative which is coming out in the media is more pro-Israel than pro-Iran. That's about all. Right. I think who enforces international law when law is broken or breached? No one. No one. No one has got the capability. There's no international policeman. No one can enforce international law. International law is a matter of understanding and behaving as per that. It's a covenant which people have to respect and go by it. When someone breaks, the party which is hurt by that will react largely. And if a set of nations feel that someone has gone out of the way to break a law, they are all told. It's a matter of a collective responsibility. That's about all. Sir, do you see this war as short term or long term? I think it's a long term war. It's not going to be short term. Don't be in a hurry, right? This is, it might, the war at this point, the battle might finish, but the war will be long. Is India supporting Israel openly in Iran militarily? No, I don't. We are not supporting anyone. Yeah, that's what John says. War is over 20 years old, maybe a little more than that. Yeah, General Shankar is a thinking man's geopolitical analyst. His analysis, what educated Indians must listen to, not jokers like Ayer Mitra, Adi Achint, and Abhijit Chavda. Olokon, you have said it. Okay. Uh, I've heard all of them. In fact, I was a guy who promoted Adi Achint, to be very honest, when he didn't have even one guy to speak on his channel. But they're all got political issues. They got political leanings, and I'm not interested in that. The moment you have political leanings, your analysis is wrong. And plus, these people are not studied. They're not educated. None of them are educated geopolitical analysts, nor have they, defended the country, nor are they experienced in, making things happen for the country. Look, guys who come, like yesterday, Ambassador Gurjit came. He's been our ambassador to Indonesia. He's been our ambassador to the African nations. He's been our ambassador to Germany. And till date, he's, in various forums as a thought leader. Oh, General Dushyant, he's commanded a corps. He headed the NSG. He and I did a course in USA. We have all contributed to this building of this nation. What have these three chaps contributed? Let me ask you this question. I mean, in this I'm very clear. What have they they were contributing. It's not as if everyone is contributing. But what is their experience? I mean, just because they can talk and get a few guys who and churn around words, they don't make them geopolitical analysts. Right? I get uh, people who are professors, okay, like Kondapalli, who knows China backwards, who with whom I'm comfortable talking with. So we are looking at something far different. I look. Let me be very honest. Even for today's talk, I had to put in 2 to 3 hours of study before I could face you. I go into everything and then talk. That's why I give you a balanced view, both sides. I can always say Iran will win, Iran is useless. I mean, Israel will win, Iran is useless. Yeah, that doesn't solve anything. It will not win Iran its war or lose Iran its war or vice versa. You should be balanced. What is the output for India finally? To say that India will become the biggest power on earth, it will not happen. Yeah. Unless there's a method. We should see that method. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Sir, is this a era of war or peace? Your views? This is an era of war. And this is something later this week I'm going to discuss. Later this week I'm going to discuss. Today morning only I was discussing with Brigadier Arun Sehgal. Okay, I mean, incidentally, like he's a great thinker. He's been in track 2 with Pakistan. He's spoken to people in Pakistan. Any of these fellows have done anything like that? Who those jokers whom you mentioned? Yeah. Have they done track 2? Have they written a paper? Have they done an analysis? No, they're not. That's why I don't talk of them, because you people have said I want to highlight it. That's about all. Yeah. Yeah. Even Thailand, Cambodia is there. Yeah, I agree with you. 25 years security agreement between Iran and China. What will happen? Nothing, because both are politically in a problem. Many of these agreements don't last. Yeah, I wanted to become a member. However, the option is not available on YouTube. No, it's available on YouTube. I have taken a subscription. Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot. That's also fine. Discussion with Raja Menon and Shiv Shankar Menon will be interesting. Look, I don't know them, and so I'll see if I can get hold of them. Actually, I have to go into a conclave with Admiral Raja Menon. I know him. I know Admiral Raja Menon. He was my instructor in staff college long back, and I'm going back in 1991. I was a major and he was an admiral then. Old man, very clear-headed. We're going into a national security conclave shortly. I'll get ideas and put them across to you. Would you say we are in World War III? I think so. We are. Will Iranian citizens accept a regime puppet of US? Possible. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. It's a mad, mad, mad world. I agree with you. Or the good, bad. Exactly. I like it. How long will it take? BRICS currency affects the common people in turn. BRICS currency is a non-starter. It will not happen. So we are taking a defense relation with various European countries and thinking of exporting some defense items too. Will it not go against Russia's interests? How will they respond? It's all a matter of balance of interests. Well, look, if Russia can deal with Pakistan for whatever, we can deal with Europe. I think that's part of the deal. Okay. So General Syed Hatta Hasnain is good. Oh, he's very good. He's a very good person. He keeps coming. These days is busy in other things. That's how it is. Yeah. How much effect will we have on our defense manufacturing because of rare earth? Not much. Look, we have rare earths. Please understand, we have rare earths. Uh, 2 days back, I was reading an article where China is the only one producing 90% samarium in the world, and they have stopped giving it to USA and XYZ. We have one of the most commonly available rare earths in India, samarium. And India has already banned export of any rare earth, raw material. So now India is saying you come here and make everything here. So you can get into trade. Don't worry. We are strong. It's only a matter of you have to realize your strength. Yeah, can you your videos in China and Pakistan were an eye opener from me. Can you make one video on Bangladesh and Bangladesh have done with Gayatri Devi? Have a look at it. Just few days back. Okay, right. Thanks a lot. I think we've done for the day. I've spent a lot of time answering all your questions patiently. And what I'd request you all is, get back in the evening. We'll talk 8:30 in the evening. The time is a little different, and we'll discuss about USA because that has to come into focus. And tomorrow we'll discuss about China, and we'll have an update on what's happening here. Unless something great happens, tomorrow morning China, tomorrow evening also China. Till then, have a great day. Enjoy yourself.